3, the Hon David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, to the Minister of Finance. Did he say at the half-year economic and fiscal update yesterday that while the government doesn't plan privatisation in its first term of Parliament, it recognises various assets as not well managed or struggling to keep up? And did he single out 4 entities in that context?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the answer to that is yes, and that's because that government left behind a swath of badly managed taxpayers' assets, and we're trying to sort them out.
Lianne Dalziel.
When he said that Television New Zealand was not well managed and struggling to keep up with the pace, was he sending the signal that the only conclusion a National Party review will arrive at is to sell it off?
The Honourable Bill English.
Speaker, no. What I was doing was describing the state of an asset that government left in appalling shape.
Question number... John Boscawen.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister of Finance. Does he agree with the 2025 task force that, quote, "It is difficult to conceive of a reason why the New Zealand government should own a large coal mining company, 3 major electricity generators and retail companies, and one of New Zealand's largest exporting firms? If not, what is the compelling reason?"
The Honourable Bill English.
Speaker, no, I don't agree with him.
The Honourable Darren Hughes.
Mr Speaker, when the Minister of Finance said that Cordia and New Zealand Post were, quote, "not well managed" and, quote, "struggling to keep up the pace," was he sending the signal that the only conclusion a National Party review can possibly arrive at is to sell them both off?
The Honourable Bill English.
No, Mr Speaker, I was describing the state of those assets. A large number of taxpayers' assets have been left in an appalling state by that government. We are taking responsibility, kicking their cronies off the board and lifting the performance of those assets.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, when he said that New Zealand Post was not well managed and struggling to keep up with the pace, was it about Kiwi Bank's performance, and what was it that disappointed him? And why wasn't he more open about including Kiwi Bank in the SOE sales list directly?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, when I made those comments, I was commenting on the state of the assets. And I know that Labor won't accept responsibility, but they should apologise to New Zealanders for how much value they destroyed and how badly a lot of taxpayers' assets were run on their watch.
John Boscawen.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister of Finance. What is the compelling reason for the New Zealand government to own a large coal mining company, 3 major electricity generator and retailing companies, and one of New Zealand's largest exporters?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the compelling reason is that it does own them, and given that those assets were built up by taxpayers giving up their PAYE each week, this government takes its role in protecting and growing the value of those assets very carefully, because they have been built up by hard cash paid each week by people who could easily have used it for other purposes that might have suited them better. And the previous government didn't understand that.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, to the Minister, why did he single out TVNZ, Cordia, New Zealand Post and Kiwi Rail if he doesn't plan to open the door to sale? Is it just coincidence that this comes a day before a report recommending partial privatisation, or is it cover for his brazen manipulation of history and his obvious lack of a real plan for growth?
The Honourable Bill English.
No, I singled them out because, as I described them at the time, these are fading businesses, fading network businesses. It's very difficult for New Zealand Post or TVNZ or Cordia actually to make money. And if that government had paid more attention to what was going on with those businesses, taxpayers wouldn't have lost so much money.
Question number 4, Joe Goodhue.
Thank you, Mr